It's not only the technical challenges and performance aspect of a car that, you know, strikes you. What you are really left with are the memories. So, when you first buy a project car, you may not know it right off the bat, but maybe just that first day you go pick it up, it will forever be a memory that you will kind of keep with you. And I feel like that's the reason a lot of us who love cars and like to play with cars and restore cars do this. It's for the good memories. So this is a bit of a farewell to the Project Volvo V70R, and I wanted to go over some of the things that stayed with me, and hopefully will stay with me for years and years. So I have to be honest. The first time I went to go see the car, it was a rainy Sunday afternoon, which is pretty rare here in the Bay Area, and I had to find a place where I could go see the car in the dry. So we found like this parking garage up in like Santa Rosa where the car could actually just, be pulled in. I could just kind of check the car out. I had mostly talked myself out of buying this, but like I said, rainy Sunday, cool Volvo for sale on Craigslist for a pretty good price. Why not? So I jumped in my little Fiat 500 and, I zoomed up there. And I remember just the first time I caught a glimpse of it go by. I had already parked my car and I just see this cool blue wagon like far, far away, just kind of cruising by and looking for me. And already there, I was kind of struck. I'm like, I think this is the one. I think I'm gonna like this car. So, ended up that end up buying the car a couple weeks later. And First thing I have to do with the car is to move with it. I had actually just found a new apartment in the city, and the Volvo V70R was way better at moving than my little Fiat 500, even though I have done that. So it presented some challenges because the car had some shifting issues. If you drive it longer than 30 minutes or even 20 minutes in the city, the car would kind of lock itself into whatever gear it was, start stalling, and it was just a mess. But you could pack that thing full of stuff. I had the mattress on the roof and all my belongings inside it, and it was able to kind of replace like the U-Haul. Problem was, I remember trying to show up to my new apartment. I had no parking space in front of the place, so I had to steal somebody else's spot momentarily, and the car's overheating and stalling on, not overheating on the motor, but the transmission stalling on me. And I'm like, where do I even stick this thing? Okay, let's just double park it here, hopefully not get a ticket, unload it. And then I had to just let it cool down somewhere. I had no parking pass. I had to just put her in first and see if anywhere within the next walk or two vicinity of where I had moved to, there would be an open parking space in the middle of the day, which is tricky because I live by university and usually all the spots are taken. And I remember just finding just the right size spot, shove it in there, and be like, okay, cool down, boo boo. We're gonna make progress at some point. So that was a lot of fun. As I kept kind of sorting the car, a couple other times come to mind. I want to say definitely my birthday. My birthday was exactly the same time frame, early January, when I bought the car, and there were some weird noises and just weird issues. I had kind of tried sorting the car, and this was before I had sold my daily drivers, so I was kind of taking it easy. I wasn't spending much money on it, and I wanted to kind of make sure I wasn't going to dive off the deep end. So, like suspension clunking noises and things like that, I really wanted to address. Well, in typical Julian fashion, I had a little bit of a birthday gathering at this kind of shared shop space facility that I work on the car at, and said, "Hey guys, just bring some beer over, bring birthday cakes. We'll just hang out there and we'll play with the Volvo." And there's one thing I couldn't figure out was very rarely, and only when the suspension was loaded, there was a clunk coming from the left rear of the car. And it drove me bananas. Like, I'm pretty good with these things. And here I am, I can't figure it out. Why is it only when the car's got a bit of load on it, and it's like when I go around corners, I'll hear it, but it's not like a loose control arm or whatever. I just couldn't figure it out. So on my own birthday, here I am replacing one of the rear shocks out with another used unit, thinking maybe somewhere inside the shock there's this like this clunking, And I took it all apart, I put it all back together. No. And so I'm kind of grumpy at this point. And my buddies are kind of poking fun at me. They're like, "Man, it's your birthday. Let's go have fun." And I'm like, "Guys, I need to fix this." And as a joke, they said, "Well, why don't we all pile in the car?" So here we are, like 8 of us in this Volvo wagon on private roads to load the car down and make enough noise so we can hear it. And it worked. Like, getting three aged dudes in the trunk and whatever, three in the back seat and two up front, just made enough of like a difference in the suspension to where the knocking was continuous. And my friend who, is very like meticulous with his cars, out of nowhere says, "Dude, it's a wheel weight." I'm like, "What? How can it be a wheel weight?" He's like, "It's a wheel weight. Let's go check it." And he was right. I actually pulled the wheel off and I saw I had a big honking wheel weight bolted, like, hammered on the side of it like you do with like steel wheels. And somebody had done this to this poor Volvo peg wheel. And as the car got loaded down, that wheel weight would hit the bump stop limiter on the rear. Very so slightly, we just kind of like tap it. And it just like, I just ripped that weight off, rebalanced the wheel, put it on, and like, I was like, that memory of like 8 friends, a couple of them inebriated, shouting in the back of Volvo cars, we're creeping down this parking lot at like 10:30 at night. Again, good memory. I don't think I'll ever forget that one. The next thing I did after that, once I kind of got the car sorted, I kind of accidentally or maybe purposely sold my little Fiat 500 to Barth. And at that point, it just kind of hit me. I need to swap this car. This is driving around for 20, 30 minutes and letting the car, transmission cool. It's not, viable. It's not an option. So I had already kind of located the transmission swap and had already done some of the research on how to get the car running. So I was like, all right, it's time. I need to rage on this thing. I booked some time on a lift. We only have one lift and we have to, share it between different people. And they, don't really like when you like book the lift for like a week, right? You can do it for a day or two. So I had in mind of like, all right, if I can start the night even before I book it and, replace the pedals, and then next 2 days just rage on it when I actually have the lift booked, I'll be able to get done. And it worked. On Sunday, I was driving the car around and I kind of pat myself on the back. I bought some 18-inch peg wheels for it, which just look phenomenal. Like, I love them. I've always wanted 18-inch pegs on this car. So I drive all the way up in like the East Bay, about an hour and a half away from home, swap wheels and tires with this guy in a parking lot with like a jack, and put the 17s on his car and 18s on mine. And I'm driving home and I'm hearing like a, I'm like, it's all shaking the steering wheel. I'm like, man, like, he didn't tell me these tires were in bad shape, and I haven't like reached out to him yet, but I'm just kind of like, all right, let's just get this thing, home or somewhere where I can check out the condition of the tires to see if there's like a bald spot or a bent wheel. And I'm just kind of grumpy at this point because, I was so happy to have the car as a manual shifting car with 18-inch pegs. And I get close to like about Berkeley, which is about, about halfway home. I take this long right-hander and it's just getting worse and worse. And the steering wheel's just like doing this. I'm like, is the wheel loose? I mean, like, I torqued them to spec. I actually had brought a torque wrench with me. I'm like, I don't think the wheel's coming loose. And I get on this highway, which has kind of a long turning on ramp. I hit the brake and then the brake pedal starts pulsating. And I'm like, that's it. I need to pull over. Something's really, really off. I kind of gather my thoughts. I'm like, it must be the axle bolt. Somehow the axle bolt has let loose and the axle is just flopping in there and it's just ruining everything. Luckily, I bring all my tools with me and pop the cap loose of the wheel on the side of the road of a busy highway in, California. Put my torque wrench on it and just shunk. I'm like, no. Just snap the bolt. And that's where I was like, that's it. Calling it. Call AAA. Tow truck. There's no limping this home. I'm not going to try to get this car, the 30 miles across a bridge and everything. And once I knew it was that, I mean, as much as like it annoyed me, it was kind of a relief of like knowing it's something simple. But I really lost it as I'm in the tow truck, I'm heading home, and we pass another P2 Volvo broken down on the road just like minutes prior, like they had the hood open. Like with the hood open, like flashers on, and I'm like, oh yeah, that Volvo life. So again, some of the memories that, you know, have stuck with me. Not all of them have been like so dramatic. Some of them have been just really just fun. You know, the V70R is all-wheel drive, and we live close to the mountains here. So a couple times, you know, with my friends, I said, "Hey, let's take her up." Had some pretty good all-season tires on it, and just on the way up, the car's so fun. It rides so well. Has a good sound system. So we're in there just cutting up, dancing, being stupid. You know, it's just like 3 4 hour drive, just just acting like high schoolers. And why not, right? But the memory that really stuck with me was uh, I timed a ski trip right before a big snow fall that was supposed to be just epic pow, and it really did. Like the next morning we wake up, I timed it so I got there the night before it happened. Early morning, it just white everywhere, and we decided to go to a ski station just a little bit further away, but it looked like traffic wasn't too bad. So go through chain control to give it a thumbs up, no chains needed. And there's a big warning, you know, as you get to the mountain where the ski lift is on top of, it says, you know, like 4-wheel drive only. And to get up there, you have to pay, or you can take the free parking. And I'm like, I want to have my car close by so I can eat food and, you know, have all my stuff there. So the guys with me are like, we're all just going to pitch in $10 and park the car on top of the hill. So we passed the guy. He's like, all right, it's, you know, pay parking only. He's like, yeah. And then as I'm pulling away, you can hear him say, all-wheel drive only. And I hit second gear, and all 4 wheels are spinning a little bit, and I just start making up this hill. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not that bad, guys. Like, sure, it takes a little bit of skill to get up here, but then we get higher up and higher up, and this is maybe like a 5 mile road. And then you start seeing like a front-wheel drive car just, you know, beached to the point where actually, like, I pulled over because I saw a Volkswagen Passat, and I knew it had the same like 245 40 18 tires as me. I'm like, dude, do you need chains? I got some. He's like, yes, please. I'm like, I just threw the box at him, like yelled my phone number. I'm like, just text me and just give them back to me. And he actually ended up using them and got up and thanked me and actually paid me for them. But as I got closer and closer to the top, it was just pure ice. We're, you know, 3 of us in a car, skis on the roof. Basically around me are only all-wheel drive cars with snow tires, and here I am on all seasons. I am just slowly shifting from first to second. The car is running like at a 30-degree angle to the normal, all 4 wheels spinning, and it's like bumper to bumper, like going up the hill. And it's going. I have, you know, the traction control disabled, and it's making it, but it's just very easy, trying to find a little bit of traction. Haldeck's doing its magic. I get to the top of the hill, and I have to find the person to pay for the parking, and this other guy comes up to me and says, have you considered buying some winter tires? I said, yeah, no, it's the end of the season, but why? He's like, I was right behind you, and you're a great driver, but maybe perhaps it would be a good investment instead of having all 4 wheels spinning, slowly creeping up a hill with, you know, better prepared cars. But yeah, I lost it. Like, I started laughing so hard. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I knew the car would make it, and it's again a testament to how, like, you know, awesome these cars are. But it all boils down to, you know, those interactions. You meet people when you fix up an old car. That's why I like these, you know, projects so much better than going out and buying a brand new car. Because along the way, you meet people, you make friends, you do research, you have moments of uncertainty of like, did I do something stupid? Or no, I can fix it like that. Or you rely on other people that you don't know at all, and who show, like, they're like the best people in the world to you sometimes. Like, they, you know, do anything to help you. And that's what, you know, I really got to say was like the best for me. You know, from the person I bought the transmission from, to the person who coded my key, to the, all these people I met along the way who came up and helped me shim my block, to the community in general for just helping me, you know, and even the vendors I work with, you know, I don't get paid for this, or I paid full asking price for everything, but it's just so cool to have people out there that are so passionate about this brand and about this vehicle that we can have these ownership stories. You know, and I hate to break it to you, but this was only like 3 4 months, you know, January to like now, just a very short amount of time. And I've made, I would say, almost like lifelong memories. And I decided to sell the car when I saw somebody really looking for that car on the Facebook group. I wasn't really sure yet, but he really was into it. He had followed the build from the beginning, had watched all the videos, and it looked like it would make him really happy. And nothing makes me happier personally than fixing up a car and spending all this time and energy on it, and then letting somebody else enjoy it for like years to come. So I am sad to say the car is no longer, in my possession. It got up on a truck and headed for Seattle and is now in the hands of a new owner who, you know, seems to really love him, seems to be all about the Volvo life and the car. And, I really wish that the good memories I have with the car, that he and his family will have with the car, as the seller did. The original seller of the car sold it to me, bought it almost new, and he had that whole journey with the car. And then again, that's somebody I've kept up with. He's telling me about his new Subaru projects, and we just chat, text back and forth. So whenever you're looking at one of these project cars, don't just think horsepower, handling, track days. Think about community, connection, good times, and fun, because that's what it's all about. I hope to show you, some kind of new cool project car in the future. I haven't bought something yet that I think would be the right fit. I just have a little daily driver BMW I picked up, but right when I do, I'll post it up on YouTube. Thanks for watching.